Hallo, hallo! What's up, gamers? Ah, come on, don't call me a Malice Andy Frame 1. Come on, man. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Thursday stream. I had that ready. I know, it's fine. What's up, everybody? Chris, thank you for the 39 months. Neostar, thank you for the Prime. Paradise, thank you for the 14 months. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Have you read my sub message? The one where you called me old? Yeah, I've seen it. It's nothing new, to be honest. Malice Gaming. Okay, all right. Let me explain. All right. Well, and we'll look at the games tomorrow. But yes, I do have a confession to make, I suppose. But yeah, I did go to locals yesterday, and I played Malice, and I did record it, so we can take a look at the games tomorrow. We don't have enough time for it today because I gotta go a little bit earlier today. But essentially, when I posted that I hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, there was a lot of people who commented the craziest things I should do to celebrate. People said like, "Oh, go ahead and do a Ray cosplay or do a Dormouse cosplay," and then some people said you should play some Malice to celebrate. And I was like, you know what? That's like the least crazy of the suggestions. And also, you know what they say? They say keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. So I figured, you know what? I would take Malice to locals once to try and find out how good it still is and make sure it's actually dead. And unfortunately, I don't think it's dead. I don't think it's dead. I won locals yesterday with Malice, and I'm happy to report as well. This is the good news in all of this, I suppose, is that my locals has been growing. It's been doing pretty well, which has me very happy. We had I think 20 people yesterday, which meant it was 5 rounds, which was really cool. And people have been playing competitive decks as well. You know, it was Vanquish Soul, Radiant Typhoon, Crystron, Yummy, and then last round was... What was last round? Last round was... Oh, Emre's Fiendsmith Magistus Albaz deck from the regional. So those were the 5 rounds I played. So a lot of meta decks, actually, which was really cool to see that the locals is getting bigger and more competitive. Because it's been a while since I've been to locals, actually. I haven't been able to go the last couple of weeks, and apparently it's been getting more and more people every week, which is really cool to see. But yeah, I won locals with Malice yesterday, and we're gonna take a look at the games tomorrow, because we don't have enough time for it today. But yeah, tomorrow is gonna be a banger stream because yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, we did win locals with Malice. It's something I unfortunately have to admit. Yeah. Why would you do that? Look, sometimes you gotta play the deck that you're aiming to beat to understand it better. You know, I wanted to look. I wanted to not do well. I wanted it to go badly so I could tell you, yeah, the deck is dead. Unfortunately, I don't think it's dead. I don't think Malice is dead, and I just wanted to make sure, but okay. Anyways, we'll talk about that more tomorrow. Blue Cyclone, thank you for the 10 months. Leo Ganda, thank you for the 30. Fire King Enjoyer, thank you for the 8 months. Shimmer Scanner, thank you for the gift sub to Malice P. Dormouse. I suppose I deserve that one. And whoever was the anonymous gifter to Kill Ronin, I appreciate you, I guess. But all right. Good. We're going to skip the warm-up today because we don't have as much time. I have to go a little bit earlier today, in about 3 hours. So we have less time for the things I want to do today, and that's why we're skipping the warm-up. But we're getting right into the content, I suppose. We have a new archetype to take a look at, and it is from Chaos Origin as well. Now, I will say, even before we read this, it feels like to me that they are introducing more new archetypes in core sets again, that are like completely new. I feel like they've been focusing more on legacy support in core sets recently, and now we're getting this completely new archetype in Chaos Origin, which is like, I guess the Sacred Beasts that we looked at are not technically a completely new archetype, but they do feel like a completely new archetype as well. But okay. This archetype is called Blitzclique, and it is a Thunder Earth themed archetype. And we're starting things off with Whiska Blitzclique, level 8, 3000 attack, 2400 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If a card was destroyed by your Blitzclique card effect this turn, quick effect, you can reveal this card in your hand, special up to 3 Thunder monsters from your hand. Special up to 3 Thunder monsters from your hand, then you can destroy up to the same number of cards on the field. Also, you cannot special summon effect monsters for the rest of this turn except from the hand. Ooh, that is a harsh lock. That is a very, very harsh lock. That means no extra deck summons at all. And also nothing from the deck. You can, nothing from deck, nothing from grave. You can just summon from hand. That is a harsh restriction for this archetype. Damn, okay. When a monster effect is activated, except in the hand, quick effect, you can return one other Thunder monster you control to the hand, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy the activating monster. Okay. Now, both of these effects are quick effects, so they are pretty premium interruptions, honestly. And if there is other quick effects in the mix, this could even be turn 0 interruptions. But yeah, this card is very dependent on the rest of the archetype, I suppose, because, you know, it depends on how easy is it to destroy cards with Blitzclique effects, and then it's gonna be a pretty good card if it's easy to do that. Okay. Surge Blitzclique, level 4 Earth Thunder, 1800 attack. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Reveal this card in your hand, then target a monster on the field, destroy it, and if you do, special a Thunder from your hand. Also, you cannot special effect monsters for the rest of this turn except from the hand. Ooh, I love that card. Can you guess why I love that card? I love that card because it gets better going second. This card is ridiculous going second. And going first is just fine, I guess. Yeah, it destroys any monster on the field, so this is a board breaker. But then going first, you do want to destroy cards with your Blitzclique effect. So sometimes I suppose it's going to be good to destroy your own cards with this as well. It is not a quick effect, of course. If it was a quick effect, it'd be pretty broken. But it still is a card that helps you break boards because you can just reveal it, target a monster your opponent controls, and pop it. And get a summon. If another card on the field is destroyed by card effect while this monster is on the field, you can add a Blitzclique monster from your deck to your hand. Okay. So yeah, you pop a monster on the board, you special summon it. I mean, you can special summon any other one as well. They don't have to summon themselves. They can summon the other ones. You can keep it in your hand if you want to. But then if it is on the field, if you can trigger it again to search a card. Okay, that seems decent. Crack Blitzclique. Earth Thunder level 3, 1500 attack. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field during their turn, quick effect, you can reveal this card in your hand, destroy that monster, and if you do, special summon a Thunder from your hand. Also, you cannot special effect monster for the rest of this turn except from the hand. If another card is destroyed by a card effect while this is on the field, you can send a Blitzclique spell trap from your deck to the grave. Okay, hold on a second. So if I draw Crack plus Whiska, I got crazy interruptions, right? So I'm going second, right? My opponent starts playing. I go, and then when they activate a monster effect, I use Crack to destroy it and pop it, right? To destroy it and summon a Thunder from hand, which is okay. That's not that crazy as like a hand trap destroying a monster that act. That's like Ghost Ogre. that's like Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit type of interruption, right? You're just popping a monster. It's not that crazy. You can summon a Thunder from your hand. If you summon itself, it doesn't do anything immediately. But like, you know, one pop, fine. But if you draw it together with Whisker, that's crazy. Because a card has been destroyed by a Blitzclique card, so you can just activate this. You can summon up to 3 Thunders from your hand and destroy up to 3 cards. And then this is on the field because it can summon itself. And then you have a monster negation, and you also return a Thunder monster back to your hand for follow-up. That's a crazy combination. You can also use Whisker anytime. Yeah, Whisker is not during the main phase. It does not have to chain to anything. You can just do this in the end phase. You can just let the opponent set up and then pop basically their entire board or all the things you care about if you can pull that off. That is kind of crazy. Now, of course, it is an unlikely combination because so far, but that has a lot of potential to be really, really strong going second. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, because what I'm seeing so far is just like these cards get disproportionately more powerful when you're going second. So I wonder, like, it's not enough, I feel like, yet to go to blind second with the deck, but it is the kind of like bonus effects that I'm looking for when I say like I want cards to be more powerful going second in engine, right? Okay. Grain Blitzclique, level 2. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn each. You can reveal this card in your hand, then target a spell trap on the field, destroy it, and if you do, special summon a Thunder from your hand. Also, you can't special effect monsters for the rest of this turn, except from the hand. If another card is destroyed by card effect while this card is on the field, you can add a Blitzclique spell or Kowloon, Citadel of the Sky, from your deck to your hand. Yeah, dude, maybe this deck wants to go second. Maybe you just want your opponent to have a board so you can start revealing these in your hand to pop everything and get your stuff going. Okay. I mean, this card is good. This card is pretty much the equivalent to Surge, but for spell traps, as well as it searches spell traps, and this one searches monsters. But both of these are phenomenal cards when you're playing into a board. And then we have Emmy Blitzclique, which is the last main deck monster, and I don't think they're going to have any extra deck monsters. That wouldn't make much sense. Earth Thunder level 1. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can reveal it, then target a card on the field, destroy it, and if you do, special summon a Thunder from your hand. Also, you cannot special effect monsters for the rest of this turn, except from the hand. If another card is destroyed by card effect while this monster is on the field, you can add a Blitzclique trap from your deck to your hand. Okay. We have a Blitzclique Poplar as well. Doesn't this deck have great synergy with the Thunder Rhoda that we just read like a couple days ago? Well, the Thunder Rhoda says you add a Thunder and then you cannot normal summon it, right? Which is like perfect for this deck because all of these work with that, right? So that card is tailor-made for this deck. So that is something we have to keep in mind, right? That this deck is releasing together with basically a Rhoda. That's like keeping in mind that Bonfire came out alongside Snake Eyes or Ryzeal, you know, like that is an important card to have. Okay. The monster lineup so far is really good, I would say. I think there's good, but like it has the potential to be a really annoying go second deck. But I can't decide yet whether I like it or not, because if this is like blind second, but it's mostly removal based, then I think that's okay, because nothing here screams like OTK like Tenpai did. So far I don't really see what it does going first, because they have a lot of effects where you have to destroy cards, and so far we haven't seen any cards that trigger when they're destroyed. For example, Surge Blitzclique, right, needs to destroy a monster in order to get its effect and special summon. They don't have any monsters that benefit by being destroyed. So maybe you would pair it with a normal summon that wants to be destroyed. I don't know if there is one that makes sense. But going first, I don't know how you would get going yet. Like going second, I can see it because you can just start revealing them and pop stuff. But when you go first, it seems a little weird. Maybe it is a blind second deck. All right, and then we have Kowloon, Citadel of the Sky, field spell. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name once per turn. Your monsters, normal or special from the hand, gain 500 attack or defense. Okay, that's a pretty massive boost. During your main phase, you can special a Mech Beast token to your opponent's field, and if you do, add a Blitzclique monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, there you go. That gives you something to destroy both of these. Okay, if this card is if a card is destroyed by your Blitzclique card effect while this card's in your grave, add it to your hand. Okay, so this is basically something you can destroy for free with your grain when you're going first, because you don't care if it goes to the graveyard. It also gives your opponent a token which has multiple different benefits, which, first of all, obviously it's something you can destroy with Surge, but also you could use it as like a protection from something like Imperm, right? So that is interesting, and it's a starter because it adds one from deck to hand. So that is a pretty high quality field spell here for the archetype, I would say. Okay. We have a quick play spell, Blitzclique Breakaway. Quick play, you can only use the first and second effect once per turn each. Activate one of these effects. Place a Blitzclique continuous trap from your deck face up. All right, gotta read those. Or return a Thunder monster or you control to the hand, then target a card on the field destroyed. Oh, that's awesome. That is an awesome ability for this deck, right? Because they all have like effects in your hand. So being able to like recycle them back to your hand, pop a card, have the monster back in your hand again so you can use it later, dodge stuff like Imperm or Vela, that is a fun card. That is a fun card to play with. Colossus is eating good. All right, Colossus is eating very, very good if we just all collectively stop reading. If we just ignore the fact that every single one of these locks you out of summoning Colossus, then yes, Colossus is eating very good. It's just, if we all forget how to read when these cards come out, everyone's going to be summoning Colossus. If we all end up reading the cards, then we can't summon Colossus. But I guess, yeah. If a card is destroyed by your Blitzclique card effect while this card's in your grave, you can add this card to your hand. This is my favorite card so far. This card's awesome. A quick play spell, Interruption, that bounces your stuff back to your hand, pops a card on the field, and then has recursion, adds itself back to your hand. That's an awesome card. That is an awesome card. I love that. Blitzclique Stepped Leader. Continuous spell. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If a card is destroyed by your Blitzclique card effect, you can target a Thunder monster in your grave, add it to your hand. During your main phase, you can special a Thunder from your hand, then destroy this card. If a card is destroyed by your Blitzclique card effect while this card's in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. Okay, this is not a one-card combo, but this is a very important card potentially for this deck for a couple of reasons. Now, the first thing is, I mean, of course, it gives you recursion, which is neat. But realistically, this effect is worded really well for this deck because it summons a Thunder from your hand and then it destroys itself, which means that all of the monster you summon will see the card being destroyed. And that means you can trigger Surge to search a monster. It triggers Crack to send a Blitzclique spell trap from deck to grave. And it also triggers Grain to add another spell or Kowloon from your deck to your hand, right? So if you have any of the monsters in your hand, even the Trap Searcher, I guess, if you use this, you can summon them from your hand. This destroys itself, and then you immediately get the trigger. And then, of course, it does give you recursion as well by adding itself back to the hand. Also, it's a very easy way to fulfill the condition of destroying a card by a Blitzclique so that Whiska can also summon. All right. All right, and then we have Blitzclique Return Stroke, Continuous Trap. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. Blitzclicks cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. When your opponent activates a spell card or effect, you can return a Blitzclique to your hand, negate the activation, and if you do destroy that card, you can banish this card from your grave, then target a Blitzclique you control or in your grave, return it to the hand. Okay, we have a spell negation in the mix as well. Why? By returning a Blitzclique from field to the hand, which lets you reuse it. Okay, that's powerful. Of course, it is a trap card. You can place a trap for free with the quick play, so you can immediately get a trap online. Still, drawing these is not going to be great, but the grain can destroy face downs. So you could, in theory, if you draw one of these traps, you could set them and destroy them with grain. So it could be okay in some scenarios. Okay, and then we have Blitzclique Alternator. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. Monsters your opponent controls lose 300 for each thunder you control. You can shuffle one other Blitzclique card from your hand or face up on your field into the deck. Add a thunder with a different name from your deck to your hand. You can banish this card from your grave. Add a Blitzclique spell or Kowloon from your deck to your hand. Okay, so this card is the less fancy endboard piece, but I do think this is still the better card between those two, because this is the one that you actually get immediate value from when you destroy it. Because you can like destroying this one with grain technically also gives you a benefit, but like it adds one from grave to hand, which is not like a starter, right? But if you destroy this one in any way, then you can add a starter from your deck to your hand, right? So that is better. And then the on-field effect is also really neat, right? Being able to just exchange one from the field for any from the deck. It's like what's the Altergeist card called? It's like personal spoofing, but better. Right? It's personal spoofing, but with a bonus graveyard effect and also attack reduction for the opponent. Which is pretty good. It also adds any thunder monster. And then down here, okay. Oh, as much as I hate Thunder King Ryo in Yu-Gi-Oh decks these days, that is a pretty good looking alt art, I gotta admit. I like Thunder King Ryo is one of these cards that I'm like 50-50 on it, because back in the day, this is Ankh speech again, but back in the day, I think Thunder King Ryo was a really cool card, because it didn't really, like, I mean, of course, sometimes the floodgate effect mattered, but for the most part, it was just a very good beat stick that negated special summons. It was more like a solid all-rounder card that usually didn't auto-win games. Nowadays, it's a little bit different. I feel like nowadays, in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, the card is a little bit more problematic. But back in the day, it's a really cool card. So there's like half of me that remembers Ryo, what it used to be, and I love it for that. And then the other half of me, you know, knows what it does in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, and I hate it for that. Okay, yeah, this deck obviously has synergy with Thunder King Ryo, because you can special summon it from your hand with these effects, and you could even summon it on turn 0. Why do they want you to play this? I mean, this is one of those times where the synergy is not even hidden, right? Like the synergy here is there, right? They have effects to summon other thunders than themselves from the hand, and they even lock you from summons from hand only. So of course people are going to look into like what kind of thunder monsters are there that can impact the game from the hand and not from the extra deck. And so yeah, this is a pretty obvious synergy, at least. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure if it's going to end up being in the deck every time, or like an auto include, but it definitely has synergy with the deck. And there's multiple ways to summon it from your hand, even on turn 0, when you're going second. And you can even search it when you're going first, right? So, yeah. Okay, so I'm facing the same problem here that I faced with Clown Clan, because the archetype itself, in my opinion, looks really, really awesome. The archetype, there's a proper lock on this, which I love. You know, no summons from the extra deck, which seems pretty harsh, but I think this is the type of thing that's necessary if they want to make a unique modern Yu-Gi-Oh deck that is powerful and functions in a unique way. You got to make sure you don't turn it into like some sort of combo slop, right? Because otherwise people just start playing it not the way it was intended to, right? This deck, the way people are going to play this deck is going to be the way that they intended, which I think is good. That is a good thing. The second thing that I think is really awesome about this deck is that all of these cards, almost all of these cards, have bonus effects when you're going second, right? Like, reveal this card in your hand, target a monster on the field, destroy it, and then special a thunder from your hand. That is a completely fine effect to get things started when you're going first. But when you're going second, that becomes stronger, right? They have monster removal going second in engine. They have spell trap removal going second in engine. And they even have some turn 0 removal and interruption plays if you draw the right cards. All of this is a pretty good setup for a successful interactive modern Yu-Gi-Oh deck, right? Because it's mainly removal based. You know, you can set up one monster negate going second, but that is at least a 2-card combination. It's even a 3-card combination, I think, because no, it is a 2-card combination. If you have Whiska plus Crack, you get a pop, 2 pops, and a monster negation, which you got a high roll for that, but it's possible. So going second, the deck is like mostly removal based, has very interactive cards, and has a lot of bonus effects, which I think is awesome. Going first, I'm not sure if the deck has enough, but there is some potential there. In general, the archetypal cards themselves seem really fun. But here's the thing. Here's the same problem that I have with this deck that I had with Clown Clan, is the obvious synergy with some floodgates, right? In this case, it's Thunder King Ryo, which is getting an awesome looking alt art. Can't deny that. Card looks cool, especially if they decide to make it an overframe. Can you imagine like the beam going all the way out of the card? That would be kind of awesome. I don't think they will, but this is kind of like overframe material right here. So the deck itself is awesome, similar to Clown Clan, but it remains to be seen how good is it to play the floodgates in this deck. My gut feeling is that the people are going to play Ryo in this deck, right? Because every single one of them, like imagine your opponent starts with let's say your opponent normal summons Aramasa, right? And you activate Crack to destroy the Aramasa as Chainlink 2. And then you special summon Thunder King Ryo from your hand. And that also stops the Aramasa from searching, because you have summoned it as Chainlink 2, and then Chainlink 1 it tries to add, but it cannot. And it's turn 0, or turn 1 of the game, and so you cannot attack over the Ryo either, which is usually something that some decks can do, at least to out the Ryo, is you just attack it. However, it's turn 0, so you cannot search, and if you ever go into your extra deck, the Ryo has the option to negate it. So Ryo seems like a very, very strong card in this deck. So at this point we're getting to a point where they need to decide how they feel about these like searching floodgates, I feel like, because there's two things you can do, right? You can either stop enabling them, right? Like this is the type of deck that could get Ryo banned even, you know, if it goes out of hand. Luandarees got the Wind Barrier statue banned. This deck could get Ryo banned, right? And Clown Clan could get Vanity's Fiend and Vanity's Ruler banned. Like, this is something that could happen and should probably happen, right? Because the only alternative for how this is not completely toxic is if they just stop making decks that rely on searching. But realistically, in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, like, searching is now part of basically every single deck. There is no deck in modern Yu-Gi-Oh that takes it slow and just never searches. I mean, basically no deck, right? Like, most Yu-Gi-Oh decks these days want to do some sort of combo. They want to be some level of consistent, and so they search. You know, there's only very few exceptions. There are some, but most of the decks are going to be really weak into a Ryo. So, yeah. All right, so this is, in my opinion, this is looking good, powerful, unique, which is a good thing in my opinion. It is a unique looking archetype. I'm similar to how I was a fan of the Clown Clans. I'm also a fan of this. And I especially want to point out that they've been putting really harsh restrictions on both of those decks, and they still look good to me, which I think is important to look at. I think it's important to understand that, you know, they can make powerful decks even if they are locked and can't be combo slop, which I think is good. However, the synergy with Floodgates worries me a little bit. But we're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. Sorry for repeating, but isn't adding Mega Zaborg dangerous? Yes. You could add Mega Zaborg with this, yeah. Yeah, it is dangerous. Yeah. But you wouldn't be tributing... Wait, Mega Zaborg, you don't have to tribute a light monster for it. It's just if you tribute, you have to destroy a light monster, right? Or Mega Zaborg, so you always destroy itself. Attribute some monster, target a monster, destroy it. Then if it was light, both play. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this deck can search Mega Zaborg. This deck doesn't really need its normal summon. So it could genuinely just set up Mega Zaborg instead of Thunder King, yeah, depending on the matchup. If this card was tributed by tributing a light, you choose. Oh, okay. So your opponent will choose, right? Because you are most likely going to tribute just Earth monsters for it. So your opponent chooses the monsters. Yeah. Is it random 8? No, it's not random. In this case, you choose yours and your opponent chooses theirs. So if this is a common strategy in this deck, then what people could do is they could play like a couple of extra deck monsters to counter this. Like this, that's one of the problems. If you cannot choose the targets for Zaborg, then your opponent, like in the format that's going to be happening this year with Pedralis Harmonia, your opponent is going to have a lot of like good targets for this, right? They're going to have like all the synchros with effects and stuff. But yeah, for most decks, even if you choose, sending 8 cards away is pretty problematic, right? Like even if it's not your opponent's choice, even if they can't look at your extra deck, it still is pretty hard, you know? Okay. Yeah, I guess that goes in the same vein of like, I like the archetype, but some of the synergies like Thunder King, like Zaborg the Mega Monarch are a little bit concerning, right? But the cards themselves, I think, look awesome. So it's the kind of deck that I want to like, and I hope it doesn't end up just being Floodgate or Auto-Win slop. Similar thing to Clown Clan, right? Like, I'm a huge fan of the Clown Clan archetype, but I really hope it's not going to end up being Vanity's Fiend Turbo. But yeah, I guess we gotta hope and see what happens. But the cards themselves are cool. All right, quick toilet break, and then we'll jump into some Master Duel. Okay. Josh will never read Lightning Rod Lord. All right, dude. Lightning Rod Lord. Lightning Rod Lord. Oh shit, okay. Dude, that's scary. Neither player can activate spell cards during main phase 1. Yes, that is concerning a little bit. That is a little bit concerning. Now, the problem is, one of the things that gets me thinking whether these cards are actually that good in this deck, like Lightning Rod Lord or Thunder King Ryo, is like going first, these cards are okay, but like they are very outable with a battle phase if you can't properly protect them. So just like going normal summon Lightning Rod Lord or normal summoning Thunder King Ryo is like kind of, against some decks it's going to be really strong, but realistically against most decks nowadays, like it's not going to be that good. So they're not really that good going first. I mean, this card is not great going first. Thunder King is pretty good going first. But mainly, the main purpose for those cards in this deck would be going second. And something in my mind just, it feels weird to play these cards in your deck for going second, right? Because they are super reliant on drawing a 2-card combination to hand trap your opponent. Right? It's like, is that really going to be the optimal thing to do? Like, of course, that the scariest thing imaginable for this deck is like if your opponent has Crack, Blitzclique, and Lightning Rod Lord in their opening hand, and you start normal summon something, activate effect, and then they activate this, and then summon out Lightning Rod Lord. Yeah, that's really scary. But are they really going to play Lightning Rod Lord for going second? Like, are you going to side this in against a spell-heavy deck when you're going second? Is that the way to go? I don't know. I'm really not sure if that's the case. Battery Man? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I could see it being the case. I don't know. Lord is kind of getting Dinko Sekka against Radiant Typhoon. Radiant Typhoon outs this card pretty easily, no? They just make the Link 2 and push it to the spell trap zone. Monk is the most viable one. Thunderclap Monk. When your opponent activates a monster effect while you control this special summon monster's quick effect, you contribute this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. If this card is sent from the field to the grave, you can special a Thunder from your hand in defense position. When your opponent activates a monster effect, we can control a special summon monster. Yeah. This is like the most reasonable one so far, because it's not super reliant on being a floodgate, but it's also it has a nice balance to it for going first and going second, I suppose. But it also, like, it can't be a normal summon, which is kind of awkward. I think that's realistically this deck. What normal summon do you think this deck would play? Because none of these are normal summons. And not even something like Thunder King needs to be your normal summon. Like, you can play anything. You can play anything as your normal summon in your deck. Like, what do you choose? Cupsy Yummy? I don't know. I was also thinking, like, maybe something you would want is something that has a good graveyard effect so that you can destroy it with your search, right? Planet Pathfinder. It could be something like Planet Pathfinder for consistency. That's not unheard of either. Could be something like that. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. All right. We got to do some more Duelist Cup testing, gamers. We got to do some more Duelist Cup testing. Last Duelist Cup stream, we played exclusively Radiant Typhoon. And today I want to play some other stuff. I want to play a little bit of... we don't have as much time today, but I want to switch between different decks. We're going to start playing a little bit of Vanquish Soul Canine. And then see how that goes, because I really haven't made a decision yet on what I want to play in the Duelist Cup. And I kind of want to decide soon. So I have as much practice time as possible. Want to try the new Vanquish Soul Canine tech? What is the new Vanquish Soul Canine tech? Tell me about it. Red layer. I saw people do that in the OCG and I was never really convinced. Did they send me first? They did send me first. Okay, that's scary. It's a good hand. Kind of relies on Stake Your Soul from resolving. Okay. Okay, something is severely bugged right now. It says Azrael has selected going second. The turn button is blue. And they just activated a field spell in my main phase 1. What the hell is happening? Well, here's another bug for you. I heard you like bugs. Oh, damn. Well, the self-draw is not great here. Not a great self-draw. What is happening? What? I am so confused right now. Okay. Well, that was a very confusing start to my day. Was that an FTK now? I guess I won on my first. Okay, well, let's see what happens if I choose first now. Is the button going to be red? Waver and Jordan, thank you guys for the subs. Appreciate you guys. Also, X10 Maple, thank you for the Prime. And Panda 2-Tone, thank you for the Prime as well. Foxy Elemental, appreciate you all. Oh, now we don't even get into a game. Okay, awesome. Huh? We may have broken Master Duel. Damn, didn't mention my rod sub. Alright, cool word. Thank you for the 17 months, and thank you for saying my rod is electrified. That's a very valuable contribution. And is good. Ooh, that's scary. The Tristaros really does go hard here. Because the problem is this basically already guarantees a play for them, right? Even if I can stop with Izuna a little bit. But this is one of the hardest decks to go second against. So even like, I mean, the fire attacker could bail us out a little bit if we get lucky. But we don't have that much going on right now. We would need like Holly Sue plus fire. That was so close. I saw the Holly Sue first. I was like, I thought we did it. Pitch the forced release. I can draw a card with the I can summon Holly Sue and then Borger. Give me that. If I had fire now, it'd be so insane, man. Alright. Earth 1 earlier would have also been pretty good. Holly Sue take Jokel was pretty strong. But no. Benny, thank you for the gifty. Appreciate you. They can still make Crystron on board. It depends what's in their hand, because the Ellis Skeletus is currently under my Nesh Knight, and they usually only play one, so the Crystron combos are going to be harder to pull off. They would have to out my Nesh Knight first, which they could. But we'll see. Complaining about Izuna Impulse Policy. I'm not complaining about my hand. I can't really complain about my hand. My hand was good. If I lose this game, it's because their deck is too strong going first. But it's not because my hand was bad. My hand was really good. What's the new archetype? Blitzclique. We just finished reading all the cards. The plus video is probably going to be up today. It's a pretty cool archetype. But it has some pretty dangerous synergies with some floodgate monsters. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Okay, so they have Izuna in hand. Does it make Colossus? No. That's the one thing it doesn't do. It cannot make Colossus. If this is the extent of their combo, I can beat that. Oh no, they have Solfefnir. Uh-oh. And Fistburn. Uh-oh, this is not good. And they can still bring back Lupus. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. Ryo is Colossus though. Fair enough. Good point. Yeah. But Colossus, there is a difference between Colossus and Ryo. Is like you do have to draw the Ryo, or I mean they can search it, but it's not the same as being accessible from the extra deck. It's winnable. It's winnable if they are... I don't know what their end board is going to be, but if they add Cluster and Infinity to this, then it might be really hard. But I summoned my monsters in defense mode so that Infinity can't suck them up. Just in case they can still play. So that's good. They have SP for Borger though. Borger is a 1-up for me, so I can't get that back. Maybe they choose Fire Attacker. Nope. Do you think Radiant is worth building and playing, or does it lag compared to other archetypes? I like Radiant a lot. I think it's strong enough to compete. If you like the playstyle of the deck, I think it's worth. So the last card in hand is not known, I don't think, right? Did I miss something? Because the Izuna was spend. Oh, it's a second case, right? The card in hand is another case. I'm pretty sure. Cluster. Okay. It's tough, but not entirely impossible. That is not helpful. Yeah, quick play, cluster. Or the Rhoda. Probably just Ripper that. No, do not Ripper that. Okay. Now, what does this make? Does it make anything with Lupus, or is it just another level 7 like Dragster? Oh, they played that one. Okay, then they can make that one. I didn't expect. This is not standard anymore. The Citri. I don't think many people play that. Vanishing from Grave is also really good. Why are you saving my Holly Sue for me? and spending your SP Little Knight. Don't do that. Don't give me hope like that. Don't give me hope like that. Infinity negate. A9 rank up. I need this. I think I need this. I don't think Mad Love does it for me. That forces them to infinity negate. And now they, quote unquote, just have Ripper plus quick play. Can I beat that? Don't think so. I should have put Raisin in the infinity column. Then I could have won. Because what I just now did does not win. Because if it's in the infinity column, I can just go end phase. I can just go end phase, pop the infinity, and then I get Holly Sue back and I can win. Because now the problem is that if I go end phase now and pop the Ripper, the infinity stays on the board, which means they can negate my Holly Sue on their turn. Rock Summon Madlove. That doesn't win because they just use the quick play spell to pop the field spell, and then I can't really do anything about that. Well, it is not game. I mean, it is still going to be game. Wait, could they have not brought back this? Whew, I don't know why they scooped there, but I think I mean, I think I win. So it's like I make Zeus because that's why I attack the Infinity instead of the SP, so I could make Zeus in main phase 2. I add Lantern. No, Lantern was Lantern gone? Did I use Lantern already? feel like I opened Lantern, but where did it go? Oh no, Lantern was last game. Yeah, so I Zeus, and then I normal summon Madlove, I get Field Spell, and then I can still make Rock to add back Valius or Holisu. And I get the Field Spell Search, and Jiaolong returns in the end phase, so I can still set the trap. I think I win that, yeah. Even with the 400 life points. Nice. That was a good game. This is one of the reasons why I would want to play Vanquish Soul Canine. Is I feel like this deck has a pretty high percentage of games that you win where you have no business of winning. I feel like this deck does that better than a lot of other decks, where you just like randomly outgrind decks because people make small mistakes. Of course, if they play perfectly, they would win there. But I think this deck gives people more chances to kind of mess up. But okay. I guess at high level in the Duelist Cup, it's not going to happen that often, but still. Okay. We interrupt our program for the final Borrel Overframe card. We are heading into the final stretch of reveals for Legendary Overcollection, Limit Overcollection, the Rivals, with the Overframes. We have one more Overframe for every rival left, and they just announced the last Borrel one. And honestly, Rockets, with the support that's coming up, the other Overframes for it, looking pretty scary. So let's see what we have here. We have a quick play spell, once again, looking phenomenal. Triple Borrel Launch. Quick play spell. Activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect once per turn. You can either shuffle a dragon monster from your grave into the deck, and then special summon a rocket from your deck with a different name. Oh, that's powerful. Recycling dragons into the extra deck potentially as well. How does this work with extra deck monsters? Shuffle into the deck, then you can special summon. Does that work if you shuffle into the extra deck? A little wording quirk that I'm not 100% sure of right now. Yes. Okay. It's not a starter in that way. Shuffle 2 dragons from your grave into the deck, then add a field spell from your grave to your hand. Oh, you can recycle Boot Sector Launch. Shuffle 3 dragons from your grave into the deck, then shuffle up to 3 monsters from your opponent's grave into the deck. This is pretty good, I would say. It's tame compared to the other Rocket support that they've made, I would say, because it's quite simply, it's not a starter, but realistically, this is one of the best extenders you could have. And also just the ability to recycle any amount, like 1, 2, or 3 dragons from your grave. This card can be an extender. It can recycle your field spell, or it can interrupt your opponent's graveyard. Shuffling 3 monsters from the grave into the deck is powerful. This is basically the effect of the Ishizu shufflers, and we all remember, hopefully, how good those were in any graveyard-centric matchup. So having this card on a quick play spell is also really, really powerful. Can you search this? Because it is called Borrel. Did they have a way to search this card? There was one that searches a Borrel spell, right? Is it Triss Borrel? No, that one adds rapid trigger, heavy interlock, or double interlock. Is it Breach Borrel? Yeah, it's Breach Borrel. Breach Borrel is in Blazing Dominion, and it says you can add a Borrel spell trap from your deck to your hand if it's link summoned. That's busted, right? Like, even if this card ends up being not a 1-card starter, so they might not include 3 copies of it. I'm not sure if it's a 3 of, but the fact that you can search this for free is insane off of Breach Borrel Dragon, right? Any 2 Dark Dragons, including a rocket, and you just search Emergency Teleport, basically, for any rocket. That is good. And if you don't need the extender, you can just keep it for the graveyard interruption, right? Like, this is also This is also a way for the deck to kind of respect Nibiru a little bit, is if you just search this card early on and you just hold it, you know? You hold it, and if you get Nibiru, you can keep playing with it, and if you don't get Nibiru, you just set it, and it's a great interruption, right? And it recycles all of your link monsters in the process. Okay. Good stuff. Deck still cannot beat a Charmy. Yes. The deck still has problems. Let's say it like that. The deck still has problems. I think the deck gets better into Nibiru with the support, but the Charmies are still very problematic for it. It still is very, very combo heavy, and it still feels like it needs to perform a lot of summons to get into some interruptions, right? It's just it's a little difficult against the Charmies with this deck for sure. But we'll see how it goes. It's a good card though, for sure. Nah, Seals pass. I mean, yeah, there's probably, but even Seals pass is probably going to give like 2 or 3 draws, and for that, it's just not great, right? And also, yeah, the new starters locks you into dark. So if you start with Rocket Loader, which is the new best starter for the deck, then you can't even go Seals pass. So that's rough. Borrel End plus Reboot in hand goes crazy into 8 cards. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if Borrel End Dragon into 8 cards is that likely to work out. Impulse and Spark deck though, that could be one of the things. Like, it could just be that this deck has crazy good non-engine. Like, it gets to play Impulse, it gets to play Dominus Spark and stuff like that. And that could be a reason. And then your plan against the Charmies is just like, oh, well, I guess I hope I have a bunch of non-engine and I can pass, and hopefully it's enough. It's not the greatest plan, but maybe you can play it as like a more, yeah, a more non-engine oriented deck. That could work. I could see that, which would basically make it like Malice, but a lot worse, because Malice had much better plans into the Charmies, right? Malice has like the same non-engine benefit, but if you get like Uvad with Malice or Perulia, you can very easily still go like Cryptor pass in like 1 or 2 draws, and that's like double non-target banish, which is a lot more than what this deck would do. Albaz format makes this even worse. Oh yeah, if Draco Tail branded is still a thing when this deck comes out, like, that's gonna be miserable to be so scared of Albaz every time you make a board. That's also gonna be really tough, right? Can it seriously not beat set Albaz? I mean, maybe there's a way to remove it, but the thing is, like, with the new Albaz, there's also plenty of ways to summon more copies from hand that don't take up your normal summon. This is a hand for going second. All it needs is a Vanquish Soul. But we've got cards to get there. Ray! Rose! I wish I shotgunned Fuva now. I guess it didn't matter. I hope there's no talents. It's fine. Fire Attacker has got my back. Fire Attacker is drawing Raisin. it will not get Widow anchored. See it, Drew Raisin. Engage with no spells engrave is not that scary. Search linkage. The thing is, like, the goal in this matchup, I feel like for me, is not to actually disrupt them that much, but just to establish card advantage and get a board going. Right? It's like the thing is not really that I can't really stop any of this, but it is really good if I can just get onto the board before. Like, I'm probably gonna hold Holisu until they set the Widow Anchor. Dude, how many? Two alt art and one regular. Yeah, you can tell they held that one for last because they didn't want to use it. They were afraid to admit. Dude. Jokel was the scariest card, huh? Okay, so 2 Widow Anchors, 0 pop, and another mysterious set card. Valius is a good top deck. This still returns Raisin, right? Yeah. Okay, that game was not over. I'm not sure how I continue there. Like, I guess if the last face down is nothing, then I win. But that game was not over yet. I didn't have the attributes for the Holisu. I can't get to a dark. I have no way to get there this turn. You make a rank 5. I do make a rank 5, but there is still a there's a 0 on the board. So like I can't make Ripper. Like I can go Stake Your Soul, summon Jiaolong, special Holisu, make a rank 5, but then 0 just pops it. And if I wanna out the 0, it's 3,000, so I would have to double it with Caesar, but then Ray comes back and Ray can just make another 0. That can still pop. So I actually don't think I had like it was not a losing position for sure, but it was not like a guaranteed win. I have no idea what the set card was, but if the set card was anything live, like Lemniscate or even Shark Cannon would have been okay. Like that was not over. I don't know why they left. Would you consider playing Shifter in this deck? It's a consideration, but I'm just not convinced that Shifter is good enough. Like the meta is pretty wide in Master Duel right now, and there's a couple of decks where Shifter is really good and a couple of decks where Shifter is really bad. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. Okay, this hand is definitely not bad, but I think it's probably just is it Jokul reveal Jokul? Or Jokul reveal Holisu? Probably Jokul reveal Jokul. I'll play around Droll. K9, am I right? They have something. Should this hand try to play around Droll and Lockbird? Because if there is... This hand is a lot weaker. Because I don't really have a great extender if I get impermed on Ripper. I can dodge imperm with forced release, but I would prefer not to do that. I think it's safer to just search here. If I get drolled, I still have Maxi, forced release, and Lupus. Just get the Noroi ready, I guess. Don't get drolled. Should have normal Noroi, now you can't make Saryuja. True. The Noroi is in the way of making Saryuja now. Yeah. Yeah, I still could. But now it is annoying, you're right. They do have Fuwa. Negate that. Now I can make Saryuja. Because my Lupus is live. It'll get banished though. Shouldn't have sent with this Izuna. I can just go Noroi send itself, is the thing, right? Oh no, I need to send the Izuna. The Izuna is the one that's in the way. Why did this is the literally the last time I used Noroi, the same thing happened. What the fuck is this hand? Okay. Saryuja. Wasn't it better to keep Lupus to exceed during their turn? No, I don't think so. I think it just gets dropleted. Special Sue. That's big. That's big. I'm not sure if it's enough, but that's big. I'm just hoping. That this is too much for them to droplet all at once. We don't have much time though. I think Wolf was the play. Wolf just gets dropleted. Does nothing. Force impulse off the top. I don't think they have enough cards to beat all of it. Whew. The Valius should probably not have been on the field, but I didn't have enough time. It should have been in end phase. Holisu should have summoned Jiaolong, and then Jiaolong should have added Valius to the hand. That way, after they droplet, I can still bring out the Valius. Is that it? Why is everyone blinding second right now? Okay, we lost one Ripper, one Rock. It's fine. Is it Tenpai again? Yeah, I get owned, dude. Never mind, I got owned. Yeah. I spoke too soon. From hand, from hand, from hand, from hand, from hand! No! Why not Ash Gamma? Because then they keep Gamma and they can use it again. Is it ever Saryuja? But like spending Ripper seems very bad. Spending Ripper here does not seem correct. They have more. They might have Nib too. So, because of Pot of Extravagance, the only rank 5 I have left in the extra deck is Masquerade. Not Masquerade, Nash Knight. I have Nash Knight left in the deck. In the extra deck. Which means I can't make a rank 5 on their turn with Lupus. Right now. But I'll still make it. It can't be Nib. Why didn't they save Gamma for Nib protection? It's a 10-pie duelist. What do you mean? Case in point. Okay, so Nib plus 3 unknowns. Destroy all spell traps. Well, yeah. Show me that hand. Show me that hand. And say it with me. Ash Blossom. Goodbye. Easy clap. They saved Gamma for Nib, they would have won. Possibly, yeah. I mean, I would have had... They only had one starter, so I always have Ash for... I always have Ash for that. Oh man, dude. I wanna pass so bad. I wanna pass so bad. Please droll me after this so I can pass. Please droll me just one time. I actually want to get... No. Dude! I don't want to play! I have one play if I get impermed. If I pass, I know it's Odeon if I pass. I know it's Odeon. Dude. Go, man, go! Okay, what does that mean? Oh, it actually is stunned. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind, man. Watch them summon it from hand. My hand is so bad. My hand is so unbelievably bad. Four normal summons and double impulse, man. Maybe it should have been in the column of the Labradorite Dragon. Oh, it doesn't matter. Ah. Yeah, I mean they had Imperm too, right? Probably in their opening hand. So if I play, it doesn't really change that much. Well, like yeah, if I know it's that matchup, I don't pass for the double Fuva and Impulse, but that's just my life with Odeon. This hand's kind of broken. Radiant, Typhoon, Vision. Gain max E to that. Sweet. Ooh, yeah, get rid of that droplet. You won't need it. Search for Mystical Space Typhoon. Jiaolong is kind of good here. Because, like, if I go Raisin, I can pop the Swen. But if I go Jiaolong, I mean, it's both just one ad. But I would have Jiaolong in rotation instead of a duplicate Raisin. Raisin into Jiaolong into Caesar. Yeah, I can do that too. Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah. Why can't I have this hand against Odeon? Like, I literally would have preferred to do this to an Odeon player than to a Radiant Typhoon player. You have man debuff? I do, yeah. Okay, very Vanquish, so a very K9 heavy hand. Ash on Izuna. Luton. Borger. Okay. Madlove, Pluton. Madlove, Pluton. Yeah, I'll draw one, fine. Okay. Bro, we're zooming with this deck, man. Could you show your list after the game? Yes, after this game. Okay, this hand is one good draw with Fire Attacker away from being completely insane again. Okay, Solfa yummy. Do you think Pure Mitsu is a good pick for this Duelist Cup, or is Yummy Mitsu better? I think Pure Mitsu is a good pick, yeah. I like it. I'm still considering it. This card Droll is scary because if Droll is the worst card in their hand, I'm likely screwed. Yep. Yeah, I'm screwed. Love that card. I mean, they have an Omni before my Izuna is live, right? Are you playing any of the opens at the end of the month? I'm playing French Open. This is currently what I have. It's like, it's the smallest possible K9 package while still playing like the K9s. I mean, you could play just Izuna as a hand trap, but I found that version to just not be like unfair enough, quote unquote. Like I felt like having at least one of all the search options was necessary. So I'm playing I'm playing one-offs for all of them basically. Except for Jokul and Izuna. But I do think you do need the K9s, I think. What are the other decks you still want to test until the cup? So I can see, realistically, I could see myself playing Radiant Typhoon, Draco Tail, Vanquish Soul, Mitsurugi, and then there may very small percentage on like Yami or Luna Light, but not really. But those are like the main decks I mean, those are basically like all the top meta decks right now, and I could kind of see myself playing any of them. No Sky Striker? No Sky Striker, no. No Sky Striker. I'm not crazy like that. We tried it for an entire stream. It was horrible. I could probably play it better and build it better, but I still don't think it's good enough. Mitsu with Ryzeal. I have 2 versions. I have a pure version for Mitsu, which I like. But I also have the Ryzeal version that I haven't explored it that much yet. But this is like this is the Ryzeal version. I added note to it because I felt like it was good. Yeah. What I like about Mitsu is I feel like it's one of those decks that has the best chance into half boards going second when you resolve like a Charmy, and it has good synergy with the Charmies as well. Because they're level 4 and you don't always need your normal summon. Pure Mitsu without Wosu. Maybe I'll add Wosu. The list is nothing like final. You think that Lunalight is good enough in this meta? Not really, but I think it is a good deck for a Duelist Cup. Because you just get a lot of quick wins, I think. And you also have like... It depends how popular Yami and Draco Tail are, basically. Like, if Yami and Draco Tail are popular, I think Lunalight is a good call. But if it's a lot of Mitsu and Vanquish Soul, then Lunalight is not that good. It's hard to say. This hand's kind of crazy. How do we go about this? Okay, I guess that makes it easier. It's been going pretty well with Vanquish Soul. Where we started here, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 2. It's pretty decent. Let's do some Draco Tail. Yep. This is what I threw this together. This is pure Draco Tail. I'm not sure. I never really got to like branded Draco Tail. I don't know. I still want to play pure for now. But this deck, realistically, I feel like this deck is probably just going to be too fair most of the time when it goes first. Branded is more popular. Yeah, branded is more popular. I feel like with this hand, I can add Lucius because I'm fine against Droll anyways. It's only Droll plus Ash or Impulse that destroys me here, but... You should play the branded version. Yeah, but I don't like the branded version. I feel like if this version doesn't work, then that's okay. Then I'll just not play Draco Tail. You should play what we tell you to play? Oh, okay. Is Typhoon in the running or is it too fair? No, Typhoon, Radiant Typhoon is in the running. I like it. Josh likes Radiant Typhoon because it beats Odeon. That is one of the factors, yeah. What does this mean? White Forest? Oh shit, they got this dude now. Love that card. How is this the first game after I queued Draco Tail? What's your thoughts on all the Dragoon slop in TCG at the moment? Is it good or not? It's not good, but it's really annoying that it exists. Bye-bye. Ooh, does this hand want to start Cartesia or Mululu? I kind of want to start Cartesia if I can. But then what do? Do I make Secretarion? Get Mululu? So I can go Arthalion with these two, or I can go Secretarion with these two. Mululu set Ketu. Mululu set Ketu, Ketu add, Secretarion bring back Mululu. Mululu fuse, then I can't make seals. No, I think it's Arthalion. Is that a good Rahu? It's not really a good Rahu. A rough imperm. I'm gonna have seals. Seals. I mean, having a 5 mana in hand doesn't do all that much because I don't have any monsters to fuse with if the seals doesn't resolve. But if the seals resolves, I'm gonna have Mululu anyways. Maybe it's Horn. Stop them from forcing the seals super easily. Mululu fusion was probably better than no. Mululu line is worse into imperm. Because then I'm also fusion locked. So I don't even have seals. And I don't get the Cartesia back in end phase. Is where Verte comes up? Yeah, Verte is fine here. If I negate called by, it's weaker into cross out. If I negate happiness, that has less punish effect. The way they played this, they probably have Asher Bell. Yeah, I mean, what am I supposed to do, man? don't think I need that, but that's funny. Yeah, okay, that makes things a lot easier. They're so pissed right now. I don't think I need it. I don't think I need it because I can just go Seals Effect, Tribute for cost, summon Mululu from deck, and then Mululu make Arthalion to bounce one of the monsters. I think, or just like I can just bounce the Link 1, right? I just bounce the Link 1 with Arthalion, and then I also think they can't play, but the nip makes it a little bit easier. They should not have normal summoned to Solfegia. No, I have no idea what the point of that was. Ah, why do you shotgun? Leave me alone. Mano. Okay, man. I feel like having Mululu on the board is pretty valuable under Max C if that resolves. So I'll just do this. This could go wrong. I wish I had two different Draco Tails, not two Ergulas, but fine. Is passing on just Mululu ever worth? I think giving one draw to get my engine going is fine. Also, I'm thinking about grabbing Flame just so my Maxi can resolve under Called By, because they only have 2 more Ashes left in rotation. So, like, Called By Crossout, you know? Try again. Uh-huh. Oh, that was scary. This was easy because Josh is a Cyber's expert now. Yeah. 60 cards. So 60 cards. No roll. Probably start with 5 mana to play around Impulse, just in case. I don't know if there's a 60 card deck that plays Impulse, but might as well play around it. Azumina? Yeah, it could be an Azumina deck. Yeah, right. I did Ketu already. I blinked. Why did we switch to Dracotail? First of all, that was a long blink because this is like game number 4. But I just want to play some different decks. I haven't decided what I want to play for the Duelist Cup yet, so I'm just vibing with everything. Should probably get Lulu. Did you actually play Malice at locals? I did, yeah. We're watching it. We're watching it tomorrow. $60 card Gem Knights. Okay. Sure. That's scary. There was some card that required him to have like Gem Fusion in the graveyard, right? Which one was it? Dispersion? If there are up to 2 monsters if you have Gem Knight Fusion in your grave. So I can just use Sting on it now. And then they have to fuse from hand. Or field. That seems good. Sweet. They need Gem Knight monsters. I don't think I need to pop with Gulamel yet. That could have gone bad if there was reboot in 60. I mean, yeah. What am I supposed to do against red reboot in these situations? If there's red reboot, I just hope that my hand is enough. My Nibiru and Femena and Seals and Gulamel. I still have a decent chunk of stuff. I will get the Seraph Knight out of here. Blame that. Ah, hallo! Not like we needed it. Not like we needed it, but it was here. Chattykins, thank you for the 29 months. I'm glad you enjoyed the domain video. In case you haven't seen it yet, the card market Yu-Gi-Oh guys posted our domain game yeah, 2 days ago, I think. It was pretty fun, so feel free to check it out if you haven't yet. A nice hand. When Josh plays domain, every deck becomes paleo. That's right, you figured it out. That is the goal. Okay, here I... Secretarion? No. It's Arthalion, right? But if I use the Lucius, I'm not making seals. Definitely using this. It might be these two. Could have made blue. I could have made blue eyes first. Yeah, true. Then I could have added Lucius back instead of Perulia. True that. All right, now the question is... do I go for all 3 traps? I don't know, we'll whack Nibiru. Fine. Do I go all 3 traps or do I go... I mean, Ketu now is a little bit more powerful because I can now fuse into Secretarion if I want to. So, 'll I'll get Horn. 'll 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 Also, they chained to Pan. I can pop it now if I want to. I could just get Sting, pop it. Where I go Ketu, no, I'll go Sting and pop it. Heals. I'm locked into fusions. No real point in bringing Arthalion back. Not gonna ash my own seals. I'm gonna get my mana back off of Urgula. I'll still grab Molulu just in case. The Snatcher. Ooh, placing a Croaky from hand. Ah! Jesus Christ. Oh, GG. Should not have shown me that that was the last card in your hand. That makes my life easier. I mean, with that draw, you were always going to be fine. Hey. That was smooth. Did we even lose a game with Draco Tail? I don't think so. I think this was with Vanquish Soul. Easy clap. Yeah, the Draco Tail list I have right now is very cookie cutter. I've cut down on all the quote unquote fair 1v1 hand traps except for Ash Blossom. So the plan going second is to have the Charmies. And then in order to make up for the fact that the Charmies are very low impact or bad when you go first, I have the Nibiru, which basically, as we saw today, if you have Nibiru behind one of your boards, it's basically always game. So just in case the normal Draco Tail stuff is not enough to win the game going first, the Nib is like the best card to have behind it. So that was the idea of this deck. And I like it. I vibe with it. Not running Droll. Droll is weird right now, and it goes for basically non-engine in Master Duel right now is really difficult because it's really, really matchup dependent, and there's a lot of different like decks in the format. Droll and Lockbird is fine into a lot of the decks in the format, but even into the decks where it's supposed to be good, like Vanquish Soul or Mitsu or Radiant Typhoon, Droll is hit or miss. Like sometimes it's really good depending on how they draw, but sometimes it's also like sometimes they go like activate quick play and draw phase, then summon Crosshair and search like 3 times before you can even activate Droll. Sometimes Vanquish Soul opens Jokul or Noroi and just summons Ripper before you even have the chance to Droll. But like yeah. So I think Droll is a possibility. Droll is also a lot stronger when you go first over a Charmy, of course. And the same thing like with the Charmies, right? Charmy in some matchups, basically in most matchups, one of the Charmies is really good, right? Like against Radiant Typhoon and Vanquish Soul, Purulia is really good, but then against Yami, Fualos is a lot better. I think they both have their moments, which is kind of why I wanted to play both of them. And this deck is like, there's not many decks that can comfortably play all the Charmies, but in this deck, I think you can, because worst case, you can just fuse them off. But yeah. Is Primite Radiant Typhoon a thing? I've never seen it. I don't think so. Does Magnamoot not feel underwhelming at the moment? No, I think Magnamoot is good. I think Magnamoot in this deck is fine. Like you have matchups like Yami and Mitsurugi where the card is really good, but then in other matchups, you can just banish your own stuff, and it's a great card to loop with Arthalion as well. I like it. What about Veilers? I had Veilers in here before today's stream. I cut 2 Veilers for the 3rd Nibiru and the 3rd Purulia. But the list beforehand, it had 2 Veilers, 2 Purulia, 2 Nib, because I was kind of like trying everything, and I cut them for the. I think 3 Nib is correct, but you can cut on the Charmies a little bit, or maybe 1 Pan to play stuff like Veiler. Yeah, that's possible. Any anti-Odeon tech? Yeah, go first. Or draw 5 mana. Frixel not worth it? Frixel without Branded Fusion is probably not worth it, no. It's sometimes nice to have Frixel in the deck even without Branded Fusion, but it's not worth a spot if you don't play Branded Fusion, I don't think. Why no Branded package? I wanna focus on non-engine, and I wanna have as many Draco Tail names as possible to make my openers as good as they can be into stuff like the Fualos. Like I don't want to draw hands like Cartesia, Branded Fusion, 1 Draco Tail name. I would rather draw Cartesia, 2 Draco Tail names, because that is better into Fualos. Branded Fusion is good, but I hate drawing Albaz. I don't know. I see why people play it. I just personally don't like it. Why Psychic and Punisher? That's for Liger. That's so you at least have a way to out 1 Liger Dancer. With you can go Gulamel plus Cartesia, because Cartesia is a tuner, or you can go Arthalion plus Ash Blossom. So will Shawless impact this deck significantly? Not significantly, but it's a solid card for it. Some people are not playing it even, but yeah. No Chaos. I cut the Chaos for the End Punisher. But I also think the Cross Sheep doesn't come up very often for me, so maybe Chaos is better over it. Yeah, like this is something I've just been taking the deck list from the last Duelist Cup, and I've been making small adjustments to it. I haven't like sat down and properly rethought everything for the current format, which I should probably do before next week. The tough thing is like I said earlier, there's a lot of decks in the game right now that I think are really good, and that I could see myself playing, right? Like I enjoy playing Draco Tail, I enjoy playing Radiant Typhoon, I also do enjoy playing Vanquish Soul, and I also enjoy playing Mitsurugi. So those 4 decks, likely it's one of those decks that I'm going to play, but I have no idea which one it's going to be. But I feel like I should try to make a decision soon so that I have the maximum amount of time to practice with the deck that I use. Because it's likely it's just one of those 4. I don't really, I could play Yummy, but I don't really want to play Yummy. But yeah. Are you going to stream the whole Duelist Cup? I am, yeah. I'm going to stream the Duelist Cup. And then he goes with Man. Dude, Emre told me he thinks Man is really good for this Duelist Cup. And like, if I was convinced that it was actually that good, I would probably consider it, but I also don't think it's that good. Although my win rate against it is really bad. But I don't know. Are you going to change decks when it's going mediocre, or are you going to stick to the plan? I could see myself preparing different versions or different decks depending on what's going to be the most popular, because I feel like there's a lot of other people who are also undecided on what they're going to play. And like these decks do have like different matchups depending on what the format is, right? Like for example, if I prepare Draco Tail, but then there ends up being a lot of people that play Luna Light, I should not be playing Draco Tail, right? And so maybe it makes sense to like prepare a couple of decks depending on how the format pans out, right? Like because Draco Tail has a hard, or Vanquish Soul, right? Like Draco Tail has a hard time against Vanquish Soul and Luna Light, and if a lot of people end up playing Vanquish Soul and Luna Light, I should probably not be playing Draco Tail, right? So I should probably have a plan in mind in case the format isn't what I expect it to be, right? So I'm probably going to prepare 1 or 2 decks that I want to mainly play, and then have like 1 or 2 other lists in the back just in case those decks aren't working, right? Like, so let's say I decide to mainly play Draco Tail and Mitsurugi. I'm also going to have like a Vanquish Soul list that I could switch to worst case. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to switch to a deck that I haven't played at all yet or don't have prepared, right? Like I don't want to switch without a plan. I only want to switch to a deck that I have practiced and I have a good list ready to go, right? So I want to make sure all the lists are good, and I only want to make a switch if I really think it's a good call, not out of like tilt or anything like that. Ryziel Mitsu has the best Luna matchup. Yeah, Ryziel Mitsu is a good deck as well that I want to experiment with a little bit. But yeah, is Sky Striker good enough as of now? It depends what you're trying to do with it. I think if you want to just like get through the first stage or get to Master 1, I think Sky Striker can absolutely do that. I personally have been having a rough time climbing with it in Master 1. So like it could be a skill issue. I could be playing the deck better on Master Duel, and also I could test it more and build it better, but I don't think it's good enough for me personally to pursue for the second stage. But yeah. Okay. That is going to be it for today's stream. We're calling it a day a little bit early because I've got to go somewhere. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow when we watch Malice Locals gameplay. Isn't that great? Tomorrow we're gonna watch my Locals games from yesterday where I brought Malice. So it's probably your only chance. It's probably your only chance to see me play Malice if you tune into tomorrow's stream. So that is something. I'll send you guys over to Trish, who's playing the Duelist Cup right now as well. You guys have a wonderful time over there. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, I guess we'll play Malice